What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Huddle Up and WAIT of the Fins Talk Network. I'm your host, Bret Legassi, and with me, as always, is Dave Steger. Dave, how are you tonight, buddy?
I was going to say good night, but now I feel like I'm kind of, what is it? Orange is the new clockwork or whatever it's called, where the guy's eyes are peeled back, forced to watch this shit show of the game
I
with
just watched
Chicago and Washington.
I just watched that show Reacher, and they had the guy's eyes taped open.
That's exactly what it
is. What happened to when they had like the blue helmets? Like, what happened with that? Like
I don't know. All I know is it looks like I'm watching the Cleveland Browns versus Washington right now with a C on their helmet. That's all I feel like I'm watching.
Are you talking about Cleveland Browns when they went to that hideous uniform that they went away from?
I'm talking about now. It looks like the Cleveland Browns. It looks like the Cleveland Bears are playing against the Washington Commanders or Red Wolves, whatever they want to be this week. But
Cleveland Bears. Oh my God,
Commanders! The big Oktoberfest Paulana mug with Oktoberfest Paulana beer in it. I need it tonight because of watching this crap.
Yeah, I can't stand the way the Commanders, their uniforms. Like, I'm glad they didn't get away from their colors because their colors, I think, are still iconic and tough looking, and they work.
But the Commanders,
come on, anybody's been in the military, the Commanders, the Commander. Who cares about the Commander? Like, why was it something more badass? Like, shit.
I would have preferred like Red Wolves or there was another one that was tying into the African American pilots of
the Red Tails, the badass pilots from World War II.
They're heroes. Why would you not name your team after war?
Weren't they a part of the Tuskegee Airmen or something like that? Yeah, like, what the hell?
Yeah. I'm like, why were you not really the Commanders? You're going to name it after the Commanders, after the president.
Evan, if you're saying I'm not wearing Dolphin stuff, I'm just wearing my Salute to Service Dolphins hat, which I'm waiting for to purchase my this year's Salute to Service stuff, which I buy every year.
Well, I'm actually wearing my Battle Buddy shirt tonight because I went going through a past couple rough days. Brett knows about it, but folks, want to give a shout out to my buddy Kevin. I actually knew him in grade school, and he ended up taking his life couple days ago, and he served in the Army just like I did, and it's just I want to give that shout out to him. Rest in peace, Kevin. Until Valhalla, brother. I miss you. I miss our chats. Of course, he was a big football fan too, and we talked some football and a lot, and I always checked up on him. But I just want to give a little shout out to my buddy Kevin on that,
and we'll drink one for him.
Pay attention to your veterans, folks. Please check on them.
Yeah,
please check on them because sometimes you don't even know.
Yeah, and don't worry. Don't even think like, even if they haven't seen combat or anything, it's there's just separating is hard. Life changes is hard. Just it's hard. It's hard on them. If they're okay, it doesn't matter. Even if you think they're okay, check in on them. 22 a day. It's never ending, and a lot of them are getting the help they're supposed to get.
As in Beast Mode said, check on your mentals. Check on your chicken. So we'll just
even for those who aren't veterans, take care of your mental health. It's important.
Yes, it is. And folks, there's 24/7 numbers provided for the VA of that. There's also the suicide hotline number. Please push that around and help folks who look like they're having problems, or maybe if you notice something, provide that to them because that may be the step they need to make the decision to keep their life. So again, Kevin, rest in peace. Miss you, brother. Just want to give that shout out again, man. I miss him already. But you know what? Let's jump in around the NFL news.
Let's go. Let's go around the league. Let's see what's going on around the league.
So the big one, Matt Rule getting fired from Carolina. Finally, it took a year and a half. I don't see why they kept him there that long. There wasn't enough production for me to go, man, that could do something this year. Yeah, Baker offered some intrigue, but he was put in too little too late. Maybe if he was put in like in April traded.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
I mean, I don't know. I like the fact that they promoted Steve Wilkes to that interim position.
Steve Wilkes has been here before. Hasn't he been an interim head coach before? I'm pretty sure he has when he was at Arizona.
He was a head coach at Arizona just for a year.
I thought he was the interim there, and then he got hired there.
Oh, he might have been. Yeah.
But that's like he's been here before.
He didn't get a fair shake in Arizona, and I hope this is like a chance for him to get another chance because Wilkes, I thought, had Arizona playing improved, and I don't know what you expect in a year. Looks like David Culley. I thought he had the Texans playing respectable, and then I think they shot themselves in the foot, but by getting rid of him. But I think Wilkes might. I think Wilkes could end up getting another chance, and I hope he gets another
He's going to
chance.
surprise some people because he had those
Yeah.
Cardinals teams scrappy. They weren't supposed to be in a lot of those games that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'd love to see him go to a team that has like a defense has a good solid defense that's looking for a head coach. So I think this is awesome for Wilkes. He gets maybe another chance to maybe get a head coach job again.
Phil Snow, DC, fired as well. So you got another guy stepping up in there internally. And now the GM has finally said, okay, I have full control. Matt Rule's out of the – because Matt Rule kind of had that Chip Kelly power. He had that, I'm going to be in control of my roster. I want what players I want. I'm going to tell you who I want. Go get them.
Right.
And now that he's gone, you've got Scott Fitterer, the GM for Carolina, wants to gut the team. He's already talking about firing up one of my other news notes, Christian McCaffrey, possibly to the Bills. That's on a hot stove right now. And I can verify that he is being talked about not just by Buffalo, multiple teams. DJ Moore is being talked about by Buffalo teams, multiple teams. And then Robbie Anderson, another one. Now, there's also been some mention if a team offered up, say, a first or more, they could possibly move Derek Brown as well. They want to gut the team and start over.
And everybody, I saw a tweet. I wish I knew who it was that said it. I'll maybe I can find it later and shout him out for it. But he had said, "Why is Matt Rule so successful? Why was he so successful in college and not the NFL?"
Because college.
Yeah, and then there's some players. There's some players saying, like Schwartz. He was like, what's the difference? It's college and NFL. There is a difference, but if you can't succeed at one, you're probably not going to succeed at the other. And there's some truth to that. But I think, I agree with the statement he made was that Rule went after athletes. He loved athletes. It worked well at Temple.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. It worked well at Baylor. It worked. But maybe Rule's a better talent guy than he is a coach. And I think that's what we were seeing because it worked with Brian Burns. It worked with some of the players he brought in. Like, it just didn't it seems like he was a guy that
JC Horn's good.
Yeah. It's like, I might know how to go to the store. Like, my wife could say, hey, I'm cooking this meal. Oh, yeah, I know how to go to the store and pick up all the groceries and get the right ones, get the right things, pick out all the produce and make sure it's fresh. It doesn't mean I know how to prepare the meal that she knows how to cook, that I don't know the recipe of. I just know what the recipe is. I'm not going to be able to cook it. So I think that's really what it was. And I don't think Rule's like a bad leader or anything. He just he seemed in over his head. And I think he might be better than Chip Kelly, be better in the NFL or better in college. We'll see what happens though. But overall, I get the firing, and Wilkes maybe gets another chance. And he was with Carolina.
I've always thought of him as a decent coach.
Yeah, well, he was a good defense coordinator at Carolina. Then he took the head coach job in Arizona, got fired, went to be Browns defense coordinator, and I think he'll definitely land on his feet. But I think I would like to see him get a head coach job.
Yeah. And again, like I said, folks, keep your eye out. Carolina players, with now the deadline looming around the corner, multiple weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
It's less than a month now. You're gonna see some players moved. I think Carolina, you're gonna see 2 or 3 moved, especially with their contracts.
Yeah,
movable. Carolina takes a lot of dead cap next year, but the cap's always gonna go up in the NFL.
Yeah.
Except for the COVID year that happened. Every other year
you're going to rookie contracts, so go ahead, get the picks. And if I'm Carolina, I'm fire sailing. I love Christian McCaffrey, but he's been banged up and beat up, kind of like JJ Watt, So at that point, I'm going to trade him. I'm going to do him a favor for being a soldier for me for so many years.
Send him to Buffalo and give him a chance.
Right. As a Dolphins fan, it sucks, but hey, I'll send him to Buffalo. I'll send him to somewhere that has a chance to win, that needs a back, and it's willing to trade for him. That's what I'm saying.
Who would? God, I hate saying this, but it's in division, and I think Tampa Bay be the team to do it. Can you imagine Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey?
Oh my God! Holy cow!
It'd be straight thunder and lightning, man.
And Christian McCaffrey is exactly what Tom Brady loved James White for. I mean, it's so similar backs, and Kevin Falk.
I know it's in division, but we've seen in-division trades happen before. So I'm just saying.
Oh, you're talking to Carolina and Tampa Bay. I was like, wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about
I think Rams have bigger issues. I could see them making a trade, but they got bigger issues than that.
It's called.
I mean, I would love to have it.
The arm.
I mean, like this.
Stafford's elbow is going
Tennis elbow
to hurt them more than any run game will. It doesn't matter if John Walford's in there. It doesn't matter if they go get Sam Bradford
right.
again.
Yep, doesn't matter.
That offense is not going to succeed without a quarterback. Yes, they brought Goff there, but they had a whole totally different team there, and I just don't see anybody going to. I don't know. I just don't see anybody going to the Rams and making a difference as a running game there.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to make a difference unless they go to what they did before with C.J. Anderson and run the ball and find that run game and develop it with all that. But no.
Speaking of running backs, Rashad Penny ended up, I think it was breaking his tibia, if I read correctly, the end of it. He had surgery successfully, but Kenneth Walker, the big rookie out of Michigan State, man, tell you what, I've loved him coming out of the combine. I loved him out of the draft. He showed flashes so far. I love it. I love Kenneth Walker in Seattle, and he fits well in that system. He's going to become a horse there, and I think he's going to have a good shot.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a downhill runner, one stop or one cut runner, fast, explosive, strong, and I think he has a good shot right now. I mean, because the run game's clicking there. It's I don't know if Russ Wilson's holding it back or they're just focused on it more, but Seattle really got away from the formula that got them. It got them to their success as balanced attack, throwing the ball. But like with Russell Wilson, he just I guess he was trying to get away from and throw the ball too much. And I think getting back to running the ball, Kenneth Walker should succeed with that. And they were starting to, I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. They're everybody's saying, oh, they're killing it with Geno Smith. No, they're just doing way better than you expected with Geno Smith. But they're still kind of a mediocre team.
Put them as a top 5 draft pick for the next year. That's how bad the roster looked.
Right, but their defense is top 5, pick bad. But their offense is way better than people expect. It's more efficient than people expect.
Taysom Hill's looking like a Joe Montana out there, throwing, running, kick returning, pump blocking. Taysom Hill's doing everything, folks. He is literally the epitome of a universal player.
Mm-hmm. He's just a Swiss Army knife.
I'm not saying both way players because I'm sorry, like that dude does everything, and it's been a while since I can look at a player that do that like that. You know who it reminds me of? Take a guess.
Who reminds you that can do it all like that?
Special teams, offense, defense.
Oh, I don't know. Randall Cobb.
I'm just kidding. I hate you. Anyways, Troy Brown from the Patriots.
Ooh.
Remember that? But he wasn't built like Taysom. He was a small little guy. But, man, he could knock your block off as a defender. He could sit there and block punts, receive punts, play wide receiver, did everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and people remember he played corner?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He can knock your block off. They'd go through, and he'd sit there and come and run the route for the receiver, and he got a couple picks off it.
He did everything. Mm-hmm. Yep, he did everything. Yeah, I was leaning more towards like a guy like, oh, man. I can't remember his name.
Of course, you get amnesia right in the middle.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, like, there's so many players like that, though, that I don't think I used their ability like that. And Sean Payton's genius, man. He's just like, I don't know.
Do you think he lands in Carolina? Side question. Next year, do he lands in division if they don't hire Wilkes?
I think it depends on how he feels about the ownership and GM and what kind of control they give him. Because I think in New Orleans, Sean Payton had a lot of say, a lot of control. Because I believe Joe Vitt, I don't know if was it brother or father-in-law or something. Anyway, he was tight with the front office. Like it was pretty much he got to say. He ran the show. What he wanted, he got. And I think he's going to want that again. And why the hell shouldn't he? Because in all honesty, they drafted well in defense. They drafted well in offense. They drafted well in the offensive line. They always found backs that worked for their system. Even if they didn't draft them high, they found backs that worked in their system. So he always got what he wanted. So I think Carolina could be, but it just depends on the power structure. So I think that's why he was willing to listen to Stephen Ross at that tampering, because I think Stephen Ross was willing to give him full control. So I think that's what's going to take if Carolina's willing to do that. I don't know if Tepper's willing to do it, maybe, but if not, I think he'll pass.
Because Peyton wants that control. He wants that full everything,
and it's going to be he's going to want full control of it all. So,
moving on, James Conner could miss multiple weeks with his injury. Chiefs designate rookie cornerback Trent McDuffie back from IR. That's going to be a huge boost to their secondary. He was a very high projected corner coming out of Washington during the draft. So expect him to make some noise coming back once he's actually activated.
Right.
But it looks like that he's designated, which he has 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks to come back.
Yep. And then Washington quarterback playing tonight, William Jackson has requested a trade.
Yep.
He has been one of the worst graded corners in the NFL. Yes, he's playing a different type of scheme. He doesn't want to. William Jackson's a man-to-man. We saw that in Cincinnati.
Yep.
He loves playing man-to-man, press up in your face.
And that's where he's best.
Some team can benefit from it, but it's not going to be some high pick because Washington paid him pretty good.
Yeah, so I think the Dolphins are interested from what I saw. The Dolphins would be total sense because they can get him for a late pick and they can get him in. And Byron Jones will probably be gone next year. Byron Jones is still in the pup with that Achilles. He's not looking close to coming back. So that would help them out there. I think the Vikings were interested in somebody else. So we'll see. I still think he's better than what he's played. He's not top echelon corner. He's not bottom corner, but he's the guy if you have a stud on the opposite side and you need someone to fill in, or on the opposite, he's a perfect corner for that.
It's the same thing what's going on in Green Bay. And they run a lot of soft zone for some reason. When we got Alexander, Stokes, they're all press man in your face. Why are you running a scheme where it doesn't benefit your defense? Right. And I feel like Washington, watching now, they're playing aggressive tonight. They're playing man-to-man. They're not doing this zone coverage. So, I mean, maybe it's making a difference to keep Jackson there if they're playing man-to-man. But
our producer's right. That's Greer's fault. Doesn't matter what team it is. It's Greer's fault.
Jesus, the tuna hatred in here. God, you guys are all fans yourselves and you're hating on your GM.
Oh, that's a story for the show.
I know. You told me the Greer story. We're not getting into that.
I don't hate the guy, the person. He's probably a nice guy. He's terrible at his job.
What grinds Brett's gears? Another episode.
That's going to get transferred into Finstock Uzi. So what other news you got for us?
Safety Jimmy Ward for the 49ers will miss multiple weeks with his injury. That's going to hurt because Jimmy Ward
story of his career
fly around the field for that defense, and he's that back end general for who's causing trouble. Oh, good Lord, Bobby and Alex going at it.
Well, Jimmy Ward, that's been the story of his career. He's good, and then he gets hurt.
Yeah, I mean it is, but that's how a lot of players are these days. They get hurt, they play good for 4 or 5 games, and they get hurt. Brian Robinson, who's playing tonight, is official running back 1 in Washington. And folks, I'm not saying it. I know the game's already started, but it's impressive. The guy got shot 7 weeks ago.
Yep. And he came back soon.
8 weeks ago.
And he came back sooner than Byron Jones did from Achilles.
He got shot twice, and this dude rehabbed, came back, and he's playing in an NFL game.
But is he going to rap about it and say he got shot 2 times every time? But join the club, I guess.
Jesus.
But he's running back 1 for another reason. He's going to be my all-time favorite back just because he came out to many men on his introduction of his first game.
Feel old because I
was laughing. I was loving it. Oh my God! You don't know what that is?
No, I do know what it is. It makes me feel old because I know what it is. Do you know how many people probably watching this going,
I'm just impressed that a kid that just came out of college, he knows what it is. He remembers. I love it. I freaking love it. And 50 Cent even shouted him out, which is cool.
Oh, man, Evan, I appreciate that you're beating us in fantasy, but your Dolphins can't seem to beat the Jets. Hey-o!
Son of a bitch, I'm right here.
No, Evan's causing this. Not you, Brett. Evan.
I know, but I got caught in the crossfire.
He's poking that bottlenose up out of water trying to
still haven't got over it. I'm angry about it. Oh.
Moving on. So I already mentioned McCaffrey. OBJ is being courted by a bunch of teams right now. He's projected back in early November. teams like Ravens, Packers have already been attached to him. The Rams were attached, and they keep saying, "Oh yeah, we still are." OBJ came out yesterday and said they didn't offer anything.
And
There was nothing. There was a better minimum offer. That's it.
One, the Rams aren't going to do it. Two,
No.
I don't think OBJ would do it. Yeah, he's smart. The players are smart, guys. Players know when a team's on the cusp and when a team's like, I'm not going to help you get there, and that's where I want to get. I'm good. So
Evan, the Giants are 4-1, buddy.
Now the Ravens.
No, sorry, Evan was talking crap about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is 4-1.
Yeah, he is with Brian Daboll, who was one of my top choices. So OBJ with the Ravens, man. Holy hell, a healthy OBJ. Because the Ravens, let's be honest, they don't have an actual number one receiver.
It's usually alternating between Bateman and Duvernay, but that's when they're healthy. Bateman's projected possibly out again this week, and Duvernay that leaves, but there's not much there. So it's like you got to rely on Andrews and Likely and possibly Dobbins out of the backfield. And I know Harbaugh's a good enough head coach, but
Andrews, how many years do we watch the Chiefs crushing on offense with just Tony Gonzalez and Eddie Kinnison, right?
Now Travis Kelce. They're doing the same thing, rinse, repeat.
But yeah, so it's possible to still succeed with that, and obviously with Lamar Jackson, it just makes life for Lamar a lot easier.
Oh yeah,
they stop the run game, they stop Andrews. Now all of a sudden it's I don't have anybody else to throw to, and it makes it tough. So
it's all Lamar's.
If they get
if he goes to Miami next year, I'm sorry, Brett, didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just going to go ahead and say, if he goes to Miami next year, we're all going to remember all the Lamar hate. I don't want to see you with a number 8 jersey on. You better not have a Lamar jersey if he gets traded there.
Oh, it won't be 8 jerseys, don't worry, because Holland has it.
I'm pretty sure if Lamar comes to town, Holland will be like, "Here, have it, Chief.
You can have it. Come on, let's go. Let's go win it."
Matt Moore, you mean the guy that got knocked out in the playoff game?
Oh, God. Poor Matt Moore.
Come on. I'll chew up and spit out some tuna all day long, boys. Let's go. I'm fiery tonight.
Who was the GM of that time? Oh, anyway. So.
Good Lord.
That was a good one.
So the biggest news coming out this week is the NFL wants to push Dan Snyder out, right? And
hold on.
I'm not ready.
Hold on. For one, we got a special thing for that. 2, I wanted to jump on the rough and the passer real quick.
Oh, okay. I was gonna get to that later. That's fine. We'll jump on that now.
Well, yeah, because I wanted to jump in the main subject after, but the rough and the passer, I want to get your take on it. For one, Grady Jarrett got robbed. Tom Brady almost tucked him in and served him warm milk and a cookie for bed. It was the softest rollover I've ever seen.
Right.
And they threw a flag on it. And then Chris Jones strip sacks Derek Carr.
Oh, my God.
The ball carrier and gets rough in the passer. I want to hear it.
Dropped his weight on him. But if you watch that closely, the ball's out and Chris has the ball. He's not even trying to get Carr to the ground. It's already there. He's holding the ball and he's trying to hold the ball and he's falling on top of him. It's football. You fall on top of each other. It happens. Get over it. He did not drive him into the ground.
That broke my heart. And you know what? Raiders lost, and I laughed my butt off for it.
Yeah.
After that whole thing, and they still couldn't beat the Chiefs when they had the opportunity to tie the game up, and they just threw it away. And then Devontae Adams, speaking of which, what's going on with that guy, man? Did you see the shove he had?
So, first, I think there's a lot of stuff going on with the Raiders itself. I think it might be one of the organizations where everything's bad. Maybe they don't like Josh McDaniels. Maybe they just hate. Maybe everything feels toxic there. I don't know. But although the guy that got pushed, grow a pair. You could just call the league.
You didn't need to file charges.
Yeah, that's what gets me. You want to get mad? Call your employer. Tell them to call the league. Get it compensated. Get it taken care of.
We'll give you season tickets for the Chiefs.
Right. I'll go to press charges. Oh, stop it. Grow up.
Evan, actually, I'm watching the Flag Football League right now with Chicago and the Cleveland Bears and Washington Commanders. We're watching that right now because it's still 0-0. There's no update for score, folks. So I've been waiting to give you an update.
When you hear Washington Commanders, doesn't that sound like a TV show or a movie or something where they don't have the license to say Washington, the old team?
It sounds like the the off-season football league team we just watched and like came out of Washington.
Yeah,
for the AAF. We
or
just
sounds like a soccer team.
Commanders game?
Actually, it sounds like a soccer team.
Oh my god, it does because there's stuff like the Galaxy and other stuff.
Oh, but yes, in the Grady Jarrett. So I'm not saying like it does. Oh yeah, I agree. It doesn't sound like a CFL team. So
Argonauts are mad right now.
That's an awful constellation, an old Roman tale. That's awesome. But the Grady Jarrett sack, the Tua sack was worse than that. And that's not, to me, I don't think that should be a flag. We've seen it flagged, but twisting them down to the ground. But that was, what's up, Cap? Thanks for tuning in.
Gentlemen.
But that's not like a flag to me. Like if you watch when Tua got swung down on the ground and then watch when Grady Jarrett swung Brady to the ground, that was a lot gentler than when Tua got slung on the ground, and neither one of them should have been a flag. So why are we flagging this? It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I just
it's because it was Brady. That's why Brady. I feel like I almost wanted to see the National Guard come in because that's the type of reaction he was having with the ref.
Yeah,
Jerome Boger is the last ref I want on the field when any of those tight calls are made in that game. Boger's horrible.
Boger was the one. I forgot. Was he the one Thursday night? I don't know. No, the ones for against the Jets, they were really sloppy. That I forgot his name. Those guys
bad all around this year.
Yeah, and I think it's again with the officiating. I'll do a Brett grind my gears next week on this. The rules keep changing in the NFL, and they say, "What's the focus?" Oh, this is the focus this year. They're told to really dial in on that. Well, when you do that, they're going to kind of say, all right, here's all the stuff I got to study. Okay, blah, blah, blah. But they really want us to focus on this. So during a game, they're watching like, okay, all right, I see that hole. But, they're kind of like in their mind, they're like looking past all that. So,
yeah,
they're looking for that one thing they're told to watch for. And then it's like, oh, shit, I missed everything else I was supposed to be watching for.
I feel like in those types of tight games, it was only a 5-point spread at that. It was 21-16 with Grady Jarrett doing that rollover. The Falcons would have got the ball back. I feel like that's the type of plays you need to have reviewable if it's a flag. I'm not saying – I know it's going to extend the game longer, but I'm saying it has to be under like a certain mark, like 6 minutes or under, 5 minutes or under. And I think it was about 4.5 minutes left. Stuff like that. I feel like you have to have at least if a coach wants to challenge a penalty, he can have one, I feel like, but it has to be under a certain time limit. It's kind of like reverse where coaches can challenge with all these minutes all the way down to 2-minute mark. I feel like they can do that, but then I feel like, I don't know. I feel like stuff like that needs to get looked at because I guarantee you, because I think it was Gene Steratore or one of the reps came in on the TV call and was like, yeah, that shouldn't have been called. This isn't roughing the passer at all. Didn't defend the ref crew, nothing. And I'm like, if he can see it, you dang well know he can call into that ref's helmet.
Do you remember when Mike Pereira was first in the booth? You remember when Mike Pereira first was in the booth when they had before they had all these officials that would watch it, which, by the way, I like having that commentary because it helps you understand what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
So that's been like hats off to the NFL and the networks for doing that. But when Mike Pereira first did it, I swear, like the NFL is like, you can't say negative because he always backed the ref's decisions. And then all of a sudden it was like
they didn't want to look bad. That's all it was.
And they started calling it out. But fans were like, thank you for calling that shit out. I'm going to watch it. And that job is not easy. These guys are part-time employees, by the way. A lot of them do their lawyer, doctor, whatever on the outside, sports medicine, and then they do this. So I give them credit. It is a lot of work. You have to stay in shape. You have to do it, and you have to follow the rules. The rules are constantly changing. I'm not 100% blaming them. I don't know that the league is giving them the full training that they need. And I remember watching some of the rest before. They almost had to train on their own. And I think the leagues should just go to full-time unless they already have 100% referees where you're a full-time NFL employee in your offseason. You're studying, preparing, and everything. So that's the way I look at it. What's up, John? So, yeah, I don't know. There's more to get into with that. But there's as the season goes on, we'll keep talking about like the officials and how things are going. And I hate to be the conspiracy guy because I don't fully believe it, but there's probably some truth to it. The the NFL betting, I sometimes I think like officials get in the way of that
Yeah.
or like affect it. You know what I mean? And it's not like, oh, this team wins, that team wins. It's just kind of affecting the spread or a certain player doing something. So, but the more that gets involved, the more this shit seems to happen.
Folks, we have an update. The Washington Commanders are up 3-0. So real barn burner here tonight.
Barn burner. That's not funny. The Chicago Wildfires. So was the Chicago barn fire years ago? Oh.
Hopefully Soldier Field burns down because they're just gonna build an Arlington Heights anyway.
With anyway, that said, burn down. Thank you for bringing that up because I want you to burn down that like button and hit the subscribe button and burn it to the ground.
Don't burn it. Just click it once and then tell your friend.
All right. Fine. But you know what else? Who wants to burn something down? Dan Snyder.
Alex.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh?
So that was
scene.
You guys don't know. We actually had
for all you young folk in the room.
No, we actually had a microphone in the room with Dan Snyder and Roger Goodell having a conversation. That's what Dan Snyder said to Roger Goodell. When they all met with him, they said, listen, you know, we're going to push you out of the league. And Dan Snyder's like, oh, you motherfuckers. You think you could do this to me? He now says that I have all the dirt on a few owners. I'm going to get rid of them too. And you know what? I kind of respect it at the same time.
I'm okay with it. I mean,
it's very deflecting at the same time, but then again, it's like, you know, be a man, own it. But hey, you know, go ahead, drag the other shitheads with you.
But it's gonna allow new blood in. Like, I feel like this is kind of like, yeah, Dan Snyder's still 100% wrong for what he did. I fully believe he was connected to the guy that committed suicide in prison and then had his own island. What the hell was his name?
I don't even know.
Remember the billionaire accountant? Yeah. Snyder went to his island, folks. Like, and then he was accused of sexual assault, harassment at work.
Yeah.
Of all this stuff. There was a huge Washington Post thing that an ex-cheerleader came out and
blasted him. Talking about like he had guys up on the steps and they're looking out, seeing the girls on the beach doing a nude calendar. They do that in a secluded area so the cheerleaders can feel safe, comfortable. And then he was paying his buddies like he was telling his buddies, hey, look out there, whatever. And I'm like, and some guys think like, oh yeah, I do the same thing. Like, well, I'll tell you, if it was my daughter, your eyes wouldn't be working after that because that's just disgusting. You know what I mean? Like that's they're human beings. You want to treat them like that? That's not cool.
Yeah, especially as a father of a daughter. Oh yeah, like that. That's not cool. My perspective changed when I had my daughter, and I'm not saying I was an ignorant piece of shit. I'm just saying, as a father, you see things through a different lens now that you have a daughter underneath that you have to worry about, because it's not with a son. You have to worry about him and his one thing. With a girl, you have to worry about
all that
20,000 things, and that's what scares the crap out of me. But not delve into that. But the Schneider
but you're right though, because look at it this way, you know, this is like predatory in a sense, right? We look at Deshaun Watson and all the women, and then apparently there's just another woman popped up, but I guess she was a part of that same lawsuit. But it came out today or just recently, actually. Excuse me, that he had another woman that was accusing him of requesting sex and all this stuff during the massage. And, you know, then you got this in the league. And I get people didn't want Deshaun Watson to ever play again. You know, I can't fault them for thinking that. That's, you know, fine. Yeah. Separate that from separate sexual misconduct from rape, though. They are two different things. Yeah, so one's way more egregious, but they're both disgusting. And Snyder, as an owner, you know, was a part of it. And you have Robert Kraft, who did what he did at the massage parlor at the human trafficking area. He knew what he was doing. He's not stupid. He's got the money and the resources. He knew what was going on. And just being around some people, I can tell, you know, they know some shit that they're doing is wrong. Where they're going is wrong. They know what they're doing.
He wanted to get caught almost, because that man is a billionaire. You're telling me he can't order someone to come to his house?
Yeah.
It's right. Going to a public massage parlor.
Right. He was doing it. So like he knew what he was doing. With that said, like it's like I kind of hope Snyder kind of pulls the covers off. Because if you think about it, Snyder looked at this and was
Jerry Jones, Kroenke, all these pieces of crap.
right, like, you know, like these guys are, let's be real. Some of you might not even know this. The sport that we love and watch is not run by good people. In fact, I'm pretty sure 90% of the owners in pro sports are probably not good people or have a shady past. There's a handful that are good people. You know, the mayors are probably good people. The Rooneys, you know, they all come from good blood. But there's a lot of like questionable people in this league that run this league, and it's just the way it is. All right. There's a reason guys with questionable past get a good or get second chances, third chances, all that. And you know what, Evan, it's funny because I thought maybe Ross would, but then again, Ross is so like dumb sometimes and so blind to his own stupidity that like he lets stuff out in the open, like the tampering. He's sloppy. He just kind of like, he's kind of got guy that's got a big mouth and then gets caught for robbing a store because he went and blabbed and bragged and got arrested. You know, that's kind of like Ross is sometimes.
Remember Goodfellas when they're coming into the bar celebrating the big robbery they had, and then you had the one cousin of the family come in with his wife's got a big fur coat, diamond jewelry. He's got a brand new suit. Looks outside, he's got a brand new car, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Right, you're flashing. Or you remember
you're bringing attention to us.
Another Denzel movie, American Gangster, where he did not like his cousin spend all that money. He was like, what the hell are you doing? You're bringing attention to it. That kind of stuff, like that's what Ross kind of is like. So if there's any dirt on him, then he did a good job of hiding that kind of dirt. But you know, I hope he does and get him kicked out, get him pushed out. And
the show Ballers was a huge opening. Because The Rock he did college football,
right? Yep. At the University of Miami with Warren Sapp.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then the thing is, he almost went to the NFL, and he's still now in the media has been tied to see what is inside the NFL. He has a ton of connections to all these players and everything else. How do you think he got all these players on the show? So he got a lot of infeed and also personal experience of seeing this stuff up close and personal over the last decade. The NFL actually asked HBO to cancel the show. That's why they're not making it anymore.
Oh, I believe it. And anybody who thinks that's not like legit, like, yeah, they don't want that. They don't want the optics. The optics are everything. Marketing. Anybody who takes a marketing class understands that the bigger of a company you are, the cleaner the optics you want it to look like. So it's a bad look. And sometimes companies get a bad rap from a small handful of people and it makes them look bad. And they're really not that bad of a company. It's just a small handful of people make them look bad.
One bad apple ruins a bunch.
Right. In the NFL, I think everybody knows, like the whole tax thing, you know, they do everything that the NFL does, and I've said this before, just does it for the optics.
Yeah.
And
they do.
And I'm going to be honest with you. If Snyder reveals it, pulls the rug up from underneath him, and just shows all the dirt that's there, yeah. If he does that, I think it'll actually make the NFL look worse. And because here's why I say that.
Goodell's going to go down bad if that happens because it's going to be exposed while he was in charge.
And remember the email scandal. All they found that was condemning was John Gruden's derogatory emails.
That's why
I'm sorry to say this.
Out.
Right. I'm going to say this. John Gruden was the fall guy. His emails are derogatory.
What he said, folks. Yes.
Right. Yeah, but like the way he was saying it wasn't even like, I don't know. The way it was worded, it was just more like foul language. It was derogatory in that sense, and it was like, that's okay. He's fired from the league. Okay, whatever. That's fine. You know, I get it. He's had his run, whatever. But like, you didn't find anything else, and now Snyder saying he's hiring people to come look at and investigate the league. I think there was more to it that the NFL tried to sweep under the rug, and now he's saying if I'm out, I'm going to expose all of you, and I'm going to expose. He wants to take Goodell down with him, which hey, fine, take him.
I'm fine. I can't stand Goodell. He is. I was completely fine with Paul Tagliabue, and when he had a panel to handle this stuff, so he didn't have to be inside the players' personal lives. That's what drives me nuts.
Yeah, he had to have a panel. So it goes right back to the optics I was talking about.
Yes, John, 100%.
The Ray Rice thing was such a debacle, such an embarrassment. It was like, how did you not collect all the evidence and everything before you made a decision? Why don't you just do? You could do what everybody else flipping does: suspend it indefinitely, and then you just say, "Okay, you're suspended, and it's pending investigation. Once the investigation's over, we'll bring you back. We'll figure it out. I'll let you know." And if we figure, hey, it's 4 games, and you missed 4 games, and we're like, hey, but the investigation took 4 games, 4 weeks. You've missed all 4 weeks. We decided that the punishment should be for 4 weeks. You've already served. Time served, you're good. Or if we say, hey, I think that's an 8 week. It took us 4 weeks to wrap that up. You got 4 more weeks before you can come back. What's wrong with that? Like, companies do this all the time. I had a job where I got lippy in a meeting and they kicked me out of the meeting. And it was very disrespectful because they were talking about raises after laying us off and then offered us half our pay. And so we couldn't collect unemployment. And I felt disrespected. I raised my voice and told them it was bullshit and walked out. And they suspended me and they sent me home that day, right? But they said, by the rules and guidelines for what I did, HR said it's a 2-day suspension. Well, it was Wednesday. So they're like, well, you're going to work. You're going to be off. We'll see you Monday. We're going to pay you for Friday because it's a 2-day suspension since you're already off, since we already sent you home. So, a company that was run like shit could figure out how to do that. Why can't the NFL? And then you got the concussion thing. Now they're hurrying up and changing things, which we've already ran it on that. So there's so much in, the Ridley thing, betting for a whole season. Like, everything's optics for them. And then remember the whole breast cancer thing, and they kept finding Brandon Marshall for the mental health awareness. And then it's like, oh, no, you can't wear that. It has to be breast cancer.
They just find players this year and last year for wearing socks supporting their organizations for charity.
Yeah, they keep bending and breaking the rule. It's because they signed these contracts with these companies, and they signed a contract with a corporation that supported breast cancer awareness. And they want to, hey, let's put that out there. We're profiting off this. They don't care about the actual the movement you're going for. They care about the profit for it, and that's it.
It's just like the whole racial movement. It's not the company, just what's happening today, and this whole the racial movement going on. The NFL did not care when Colin Kaepernick first spoke up. They blackballed the crap out of him.
Yep, they don't care about that. And then they try to do the Black National Anthem, and they only did that to pacify people. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm not saying that I'm just telling you the truth. They don't care. They care about their bottom line. Now, from a business perspective, it makes sense to stay neutral, to support everybody, right? To support everybody fairly, and to kind of be that middle ground, because you want everybody to support your business and you want to be fair to everybody. You want to treat everybody with respect, no matter what their differences are. But, you're doing it pretending to care, and it's all bullshit. It's all a facade. And that's, I guess we went into what grinds Brett's gears. But that's, and I honestly hope at the end of the day, to wrap this up, I hope Dan Snyder pulls a rug out from under him, and I hope the people that deserve it get exposed.
Now you see why I love not having a majority owner as a Packers fan. Like, we have a board of majority owners, but not like.
But do you have ping pong gate?
Huh? Good Lord.
Huh? Yeah. These guys would rather paddle each other's balls and get ready for the Vikings, apparently, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Can't believe that's what they're talking about in Miami. I'm like, Jesus criminy. Oh, Tua, just come back so we can argue about Tua again, because that's way more fun than ping pong.
A duel? What are we going to line up with musket? What John just asked if we're going to have a duel.
It's not a bad idea.
A duel and what? God, Brett's going to drive all the way from New Jersey. I'm not driving up north.
All right, so let's talk about
your beard. No, sir.
Good Lord, no.
Alex,
no.
there's the guy with the 5 o'clock shadow on his face wants to offer up a beard game. No.
So, Cap's comment. That's. I don't know. He obviously knows there's something. That's why I think he's getting the investigators, not so much to figure out what it is. I think it's just to find the proof. But it might be I don't know. Maybe it's financial situations.
So what do we think it's about the Daniel Snyder? So Cap's question, I see it now. It just popped up finally.
Yeah. What does he know about the NFL?
I think it's all the dirt on one. He's going to lay out everything. He knows to basically take the attention off him And since he's working with this on the government to out all these owners who the government's probably been after forever, he's going to get to skedaddle out of the way and let everyone else take the gunfire.
And I think he's still going to take heat, but I think he's going to pull a Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh God!
I really think that's what's about to happen. And I think
was the last name I thought I'd heard here on this show ever.
We're very diverse on this show, but you got like it could be sexual things, could be like hiding like sexual assaults, could be hiding financial. Excuse me. What are you trying to say, Alex? I'm very well rounded here.
That was impressive. That was very impressive, man. Very impressive. The hip hop knowledge.
Yeah, I don't listen to this music, but
it's because it's horrible.
Neither do I. Don't worry.
Cap, Miami could take gunfire.
Is that you?
I don't think Ross is hiding anything like illegal, though. I think he probably would just look what he did, tampering, and that kind of. I think his is more football related. But I think there could be some like embezzling or illegal trades and all that stuff for money, and there could be stuff that they like hide and stuff for concussions. So we'll see what happens with that. But
John, I saw your comment on that Jerry Jones wears adult diapers. I actually wouldn't be surprised he doesn't. He's 80 years old, and he put so much salt on his McGriddles when they did Hard Knocks. When they showed him in the office talking about the game plan, and he poured a half a container of salt on this thing. I'm like, Jerry, your kidneys are going to shut down from the sandwich. He probably wears adult diapers because he can't hold the McDonald's in.
My dad's 81. Just got a clean bill of health, too, by the way. He's 81. He doesn't wear diapers.
Great news, especially when he's going through. Yes.
Yes. So excited about that. But real quick, so the two games. I think looking at this schedule this week, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot of games that stand out to me, but my game of the week is the Bills at Chiefs. And I think the Bills are coming for blood.
Max Crosby, him and his wife, just gave birth to a brand new baby. So congrats to
Congratulations.
Max Crosby,
that's awesome.
Yes. And from what he's overcome in his life now to experience this, to becoming a father, that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you.
Yes, very much so. That's awesome.
Okay, go back to the game. Sorry, it just popped up on the feed.
So the two games I was going to mention is one of the big ones in my area too is Dallas at Eagles. Doesn't matter.
We're even picking Dallas as your matchup games each week.
Well, I mean, they had good matchups this week, and I think the sleeper matchup that has more importance than people think is the Jets at the Packers.
Yes and no. I know the Jets have some wins and their positive record, and I get it. But and I know Green Bay's dwindling, so it looks like kind of that shift in paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still taking the Packers. I think they have this reflection week where it was more humble pie. They had to get that because to me they needed it after the New England game. If you lost to a third string quarterback that did not play an NFL snap before that, that's like, what the hell are we doing here, guys? But last week, Packers were up 20-10 in the half. Run game was averaging 5 yards a carry. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon eating all day long. Rodgers was hitting the easy passes. And next thing you know, it comes out looking like 2019 Packers again. Trying to go for the deep shots, acting like we had Devontae Adams like for 4 straight passes. Defense is playing soft zone coverage again. I'm like, what is going on? And I saw Evan's comment earlier. Yes, we lost to Daniel Jones, but guess what? Brian Dable, a new head coach.
Yeah, but let's be honest. I mean, the Giants, they've been putting some good game plans together.
And they were a hell of a coach, man.
And they made the Titans look worse than they were. And then, the Titans actually are surprisingly worse than we thought they would be. But the Jets, to be honest,
Tyler. Don't hate on Brett's guy.
The reason the Jets, poor Skyler, the reason the Jets, I think it's a big game for them, is this is a chance to show that the wins that they've had the last 2 weeks against the Steelers and Dolphins was not a fluke. They beat teams they probably should beat in those situations, right? They need to and they beat up on the Dolphins pretty good. They hit them in the mouth early on, and they couldn't really pull away. I don't trust Zach Wilson, but this is a chance for them.
Looks legit.
Yeah, he does. But this is their chance to say, we belong as a contender and we're legit. even if they don't win the game, they keep this as a battle and the Packers win. I still think that means, hey, the Jets are building something.
Yep.
But I think the Packers. I think this game. I think the Packers could run them over very much. So I don't see the Jets winning, but I actually see a close game a little bit early. But I think Aaron Rodgers is going to pick on that secondary. There's a lot of opportunities against the Jets that they just did not. The Dolphins didn't take advantage of, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to take advantage of that.
We'll see, man. I've got to see the team that I saw in week 2, week 3. I can't stand seeing this. I don't know. The last couple of weeks, it's been rough. It's looked like the 2019 Packers instead of the 2021 and 22 Packers.
So what's the Packers?
I'm still taking Green Bay, but
it reminded me of Seattle at the end of Russ's days. Even though Rodgers is older, it almost feels like
we have an offensive line.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's fair, but it feels like Bakhtiari just can't stay on the damn field, but it feels like it's like Rodgers.
He rotates out to basically make sure he doesn't overdo his knee with him having 3 surgeries in the past year and a half.
I get it. It just sucks you can't rely on him the full time though. That hurts.
Josh Neisman's proven to be a stud out there still whenever we rotate him in, so we get it.
But at the same time, it's like they're kind of like the run game is good, and then they get away from it. Their passing game isn't clicking like it used to. But I think
Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
But everybody's saying Rodgers throwing these deep shots. Why is he doing that? It's not there. It actually is there. The look is there. What people don't understand. If you watch the film, I saw a few plays on Twitter that someone's breaking down from the All-22. The young receivers are making mental mistakes. They're not going out when they're supposed to go. They're going in when they're supposed to go out, vice versa. They're not coming back soon enough. They're rounding the routes, and Rodgers is throwing where they're supposed to be. Now, that's on him. He needs to adapt, say, okay, they're not going where they're supposed to. I need to put it where they're supposed to. But at the same time, Rodgers is reading the defense, how it's going, how his receiver's supposed to run, where he's supposed to be, putting it there. I think that's still the issue for Rodgers is he still wants to run that West Coast, and I think that's where Matt LaFleur is struggling. Because if you notice when Matt Stafford got to the Rams, Sean McVay settled down on a lot of the gimmicky stuff, the motions and all that, and just kind of went, hey, let's just get a rhythm going. Let's go.
Yeah.
No motions. Let's just go. Let's get a rhythm. And it went a little bit more West Coast style, with that mixed into their system. So, in my opinion, I think Matt LaFleur needs to kind of settle that in and say, hey, we're going to run it Rodgers' version of this Shanahan system. But the other system, the other quarterbacks that are elite that we're going to watch, Jalen Hurts and Cooper Rush. I'm just kidding. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. That, to me, is an exciting matchup. The Bills are going to be out for blood. Naturally, I need the Bills to lose for the Dolphins' sake. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be a game where this could be a rematch of the AFC East or the AFC, championship game. This we could see this game again in the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to this. I wish the Bills still had Tre'Davious White, but this is going to be a fun game, I think.
Bills win. I don't trust Kansas City.
Out for blood.
Barely beat Las Vegas by 1 point. They lost to Indy.
Yep. The Bills are out for blood of the last week. They don't have Tyreek. Leslie Frazier has been running an excellent game plan. The Bills and the 49ers have the best linebacker core in the NFL. I keep saying the 49ers do, and the Bills are right there with them. I absolutely love their linebackers, and they play well. Their defensive line is deep. They rotate well. I think the Bills are going to win. I think their defense is better. I think their defensive line is better against the Chiefs. The Chiefs struggled against the Raiders' defensive line, and don't get me wrong, the Raiders' defensive line is good. But I think the Bills' defensive line is deeper, and they're stronger, the bigger.
Their linebackers are better.
Yeah, they're so good.
Nate Edmonds is a beast.
Oh, yeah. They're so good. Edmonds and Martinez, they get home.
Milano, not Martinez.
Milano. I keep thinking every time I think of Milano, I think of Martinez. They both came from Green Bay, didn't they?
Utter trash. He's just a guy, man.
Milano is a stud, man. Edmonds, they feed off each other. They run basically a nickel all the time.
They complement each other in each other's games. Like Milano can bring the thunder, but Edmonds is one of those weird freaks that can also cover and bring the thunder. Yep. But Milano, man, once he gets a beat on someone, he is not letting up.
I wanted Edmonds in the draft, but he's a beast.
Me too. 18 years old out of Virginia Tech. Loved him.
Yeah, he wasn't even done filling out yet. men don't stop filling out to the 21 years
He's
old.
just a guy, Dave.
Yeah, he did not fill out. Like he saw he was 2 years in the league before he's like reached his full size. It was insane. But yeah, so that's my game of the week. I wish that was a primetime game, but instead we're stuck with the Broncos and Chargers because that ought to be fun. And then finally, my last game is Eagles and Cowboys. Cowboys at Eagles. They're both of them can run the ball. We've seen that. Cooper Rush coming in, playing well, basically being a game manager. That's all he's been. He's just not turning the ball over. Can that continue to keep winning? Can the Eagles continue their win streak? The last time they won this was 2004 when they went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots. So can they continue this win streak versus can Cooper Rush continue his win streak? This is going to be interesting.
I think Philly's going to take it. I think they can score more points in a hurry. Cooper Rush and the running game is meant to be methodical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're this. Dak offers that element where they can just go over the top and he has the arm.
Right.
Cooper Rush, he's that guy that'll move you down the field, but it takes time. Philly can strike quick, strike hard, go. And with those weapons they got and Smith and Brown and Goddard and the run game they got led by Jalen Hurts, I think the Eagles have a little bit of an advantage because these teams mirror each other. You put Dak Prescott in there, and it's weird how the Eagles and Cowboys really mirror each other. So they run the ball. They both can run the ball well. Dak and Hurts are similar. Layout is so different, though.
No, yeah, scheme's different. Yeah, but I just mean like how they both have good defenses. They both have an attacking defense. The defense isn't like sexy names at every level, but everybody does their job.
This is where I think Trayvon Diggs gets cooked, though. A.J. Brown's not a dude to mess with, especially on his routes.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I think the Eagles receivers are probably the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And although Gallup and Lamb are good receivers, neither one of them have taken over games. A.J. Brown can take over a game. He can be your dominant receiver. I don't know that Lamb and Gallup are those takeover games kind of guys. And then I think the tight end Dallas Goedert for the Eagles, I think helps them big time.
Schultz is out. But he re-sprained his PCL, and it looks like he's out again. So they're down. I think Jake Ferguson, the rookie tight end, is banged up too.
And Jake Ferguson has been kind of like a blocker. He's not much of a receiver. He's a tough guy from Wisconsin. I love them in the Wisconsin, but he's never really a receiver.
Where's our Dallas guy that's always in the chats? Where
Josh? I guess I didn't mention him before.
We picked his Dallas game. His game of the week. And he's not even in the chat.
What the Josh? Come on. No, he's I think you'd agree, but Micah is he's fast, but
you guys is dinged up right now.
Do you guys know Jalen Hurts was the power lifter in high school?
Yes, I did.
He was a freaking power lifter.
His legs are so strong.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I followed his TikTok account. I was like, can you guess his quarterback will show you a silhouette? And you sometimes you guess from a silhouette. And it was like, but they do older ones too, so it's hard to tell. Yeah. And it said current NFL quarterback. Well, okay. And it was a powerlifter in high school, Jalen Hurts. The only quarterback that's built that could be a powerlifter in high school, maybe Josh Allen and Dak Prescott outside of Jalen Hurts. He's such a brick shit house, man. 600-pound leg press. Like, Micah can get there in a hurry, but Hurts is quick. He's strong.
Mike is playing with an injury, too, right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, Jalen. Anyways.
Although he's got strong quads, though. I'll give him that.
Oh, God. Anyways. Yeah, Tua. Yeah. Can't stay on the field long enough. No. I think with Jalen, Miles Sanders, Gainwell, like that running game alone is a beast itself. So's Pollard and Zeke, but I trust offensive line.
I was going to say Pollard and Zeke. That's the other thing. They got two Memphis backs out of their spell backs that are starters, but
I don't trust Dallas's offensive line. They're so Peters is out.
Peters is out.
Injury, so they just got him, and then they got that Fearon or whatever his name is. He's going to get moved, no problem, by Fletcher Cox.
And Fletcher Cox is the most underrated defensive tackle in the NFL.
I wanted him so bad when he was a free agent this past year.
hands down. When Mississippi State had a ton of talent on that defense, guys like Chris Jones, KJ Hill, they've had there at one point there's about 12 of their Mississippi State defenders, and at least in the NFL starting, and at least 5 of them were like tops in their position.
Mississippi State, Willie Gay, linebacker for Kansas City.
There's so much talent that came out of there. And Fletcher Cox was kind of like the
barn burner, John. Barn burner.
Well, he's a beast though, and that's going to be a problem for Dallas. But I think it's going to be a good game. It's always a good game. I've loved watching Dallas. It's Army Navy around here. Like that's how it's fun. It's really fun watching the Eagles and Cowboys play. It's like the Army Navy game. I have no stake in the game. Really, don't really care who wins, but it's fun as hell to watch.
Screw the Navy.
Oh God, dude! We went with a guy, Phil Holmes, who played at Tulsa back in the 90s. He took us through the game, got us tickets. We met Tyler Smith, who plays for the Cowboys. That was cool. A best friend who's a Cowboys fan going through a tough time right now. Got to meet him. That was awesome.
Nice.
So we're all like hanging out watching the game, and Navy just punched him in the mouth. Guy we went with took the 46, took the over on a 46. Like, oh, it's not looking good. Navy got that by themselves. I was shocked to see Navy winning by that much, man. In a triple option. But I digress. I mean, it's the game of the week when both teams are playing well. 4-1, 5-0. Both of them have something to lose here. Dallas wins this game. Dallas is first in the division. They're only lost to the Buccaneers.
First in the conference too.
Possibly, yeah. So and the Eagles, the only loss would be to Dallas. So 1-2. So that's interesting. It's fun. I think the NFC is a little bit more fun when the old school teams, Packers, Cowboys, Eagles, when they're all good, it's more fun. It's more reminiscent of what we were teenagers.
Work a lot better now that Jimmy G's in, and they just slaughtered Carolina.
Yep. So that first game against the Browns was ugly, but against the it is what it was. No, I'm sorry, the Broncos. But against the
Broncos still got a good defense. I'm not knocking for that, but they.
Good.
But that was just because of the fact of which shittier QB played better that day.
Right. But you know what? Hey, they're doing good. So yeah, I mean that's going to be fun to watch, I think. But yeah, they're both at 4:00. I'm looking forward to both of them. So I'll get to watch my Dolphins at 1 and then flip back and forth with those two.
Oh joy.
So you're taking Eagles? I'm actually taking Cowboys. I'm going to take the Cowboys.
I'm taking Philly. I just I don't know, man. I think if Rush can see, this is where if Rush can come out and win a shootout, then I have no question that they got that legit team with Rush.
Right.
But at the same time, I still don't. I don't know. I just think
Josh made
got
it.
The better overall.
There's
team.
Josh made
it. He finally made it. Josh, I'm picking the Eagles.
Josh, you made it just in time for him to pick the Eagles. So we both agree the Jets are going to beat the Packers, the Bills will beat the Chiefs, and then we disagree on the Eagles and Cowboys, right? You didn't hear what I said.
No, I did. I heard what you did. You just made the pick.
Oh, okay. You're just deciding how to respond.
I know. I'm just not responding to it because that's no. I took Philly, I took Green Bay, and I took the Bills. I
wanted to see if you would catch it or not. That's why I kept rolling with the punches. All right, guys.
Chicago has a possible touchdown on the board, but Dante Pettis looks like he juggled at the last second to adjust the ball.
What a disappointment!
Which would take a 65-yard touchdown play off the board.
Pettis. What a disappointment he's been. I thought he was going to be better. No. His release off the line of scrimmage is pretty good.
You picked She-Hulk over Huddle. Oh, my God.
Josh, you could have been looking at all this. I don't know. Don't tell me anything about it, Josh. I already know what's kind of happening, and I'm kind of sort of excited about it.
Well, yeah, so, Devils in it. They showed a clip of it.
Real quick, Dave, who is your lock of the week?
God, my lock of the week. Go back and think about it. I'm going to homer the crap out of it. Packers over the Jets.
So
I see the schedule. I know there's some other teams out there that probably deserve it, but
I'm going to go a risky one, and I just that confident in this. I think the Bills are my lock of the week. I just don't see them losing this game. This is a win.
Chiefs are Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes scare the crap out of me.
Yeah.
That's why I can never put them in a lock of the week situation against them.
Andy Reid's really good against his former pupils. Anybody's coached against him. And I think to be honest. I think Sean McDermott, I think, gets his win here. Just me.
I mean,
No,
yeah,
Josh,
I think the Bills too, but I still don't. I trust Aaron Rodgers over Zach Wilson. Then
I mean, you can say Chargers over Denver, but I mean that's a tough one. Packers over Jets is probably the easy
the
one.
Chargers have a knack of playing down to their competition when they aren't supposed to.
Although Browns or Patriots over Browns, Patriots are rolling. And
We've seen two different Patriots teams come out this year.
Right.
But it's never like they're either really damn good or they're
Mhm.
horrible. It's just
Right.
it's never.
I think they'll continue on and win this one. Oh, I just think my lock or you
Josh, I picked Dallas last week.
I
You always look at Dallas. I picked Dallas over the Rams last week at goofball.
Yeah, you did. We both did.
Good Lord.
I'm taking I'm sticking with the Bill. Then you can say the Rams are. No, I wouldn't. I'm sticking with the Bills. They're my lock. They are my lock.
Yeah.
I just
that.
see them getting
homering.
revenge.
Plus, Robert, I just want it for. I'm homering this lock of the lock pick because I want to right the ship, I guess. Because like if this doesn't happen, we go 3-3. Vikings go up in the division, possibly another game. Yeah.
No,
We're going to be a
honest,
wild card team that gets kicked out. Or
it's really not a homer to me. I do think that's probably the safest pick is Packers over the Jets. Although I think it should work out to be a pretty good game. We'll see. So, all right, that's our locks. And that's it for us, guys. From here at Fins Talk Network, huddle up and wait. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe. Please, Dave, thank you for everything. And yes, rest in peace to your friend. One more drink for him.
All right, Pete, Kev. Love you, buddy.
Everybody, thank you for watching, tuning in, all your comments. Please.
Whoa. Hey, go check out Badass Beard Care, another veteran-owned company for their beard bombs, their oils, their waxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Going to get your beard checked out or even your hair for up on top of your head. If you're bald, they got nice bombs and stuff to keep your head moisturized, like Bret because he's losing his hair.
I'm not. I just shave it off.
Folks, that's just scratch marker he puts on there. He does not even real hair.
What, brighter lacquer?
Cowboys by 1,000. Josh, listen, I love Cooper Rush just as much as you do, but come on.
He's no Skylar Thompson. All right, that's it for us, guys. Please check in with your fellow veterans. Check in with your friends. Take care of your mental health. 22 a day is too much, guys. And on that note, we're out of here. We'll see y'all next week.
Smash that like and subscribe button.
Yes, sir.